News and Events COVID-19 on July 08, 2020 Vertical Line World News. Note, this is a collaborative video made between Travel for All fanpage and Knowledge of Coronavirus channel. Please respectfully welcome everyone. The following is the remarkable news most on July 08 as follows. 1. General updated situation of COVID-19 in the world as of 6 p.m. on July 8. Worldometers recorded 11,937,388 people infected with COVID-19 acute respiratory infection globally, including 545,505 deaths and 6,837,928 patients recovered. After 3 days of recording a new record for the day, the number of new cases dropped slightly below 195,000. On July 7, the world again recorded an increase in the number of people with COVID-19, with 203,357 cases in the past 24 hours. The U.S. awarded $1.6 billion for Novavax Company's potential COVID-19 vaccine. One of the biggest rewards ever from the Operation Warp Speed project, a White House program that aims to increase people's access to vaccines and treatments to combat the new strain of coronavirus, which caused COVID-19 disease, was awarded to Novavax Company with a reward of up to $1.6 billion for the successful testing, manufacture, and commercialization of a potential vaccine strain against COVID-19 in the country. USA, with a goal of producing 100 million doses in January 2021. The bonus also helps to cover the cost of conducting a third phase test, the final phase, in which the test of the vaccine against COVID-19 in humans could begin in October of this year. Perhaps this is the greatest award ever from the Operation Warp Speed project, a White House program that aims to increase people's access to vaccines and treatments to combat the virus. New strain of corona, causing COVID-19 disease. Last May, Novavax received an additional $338 million to develop the COVID-19 vaccine from the Innovative Alliance to Deal with Pandemics, CEPI, and earlier, in March, received $4 million. In June, the U.S. Department of Defense also awarded the company $60 million to support the production of 10 million doses of vaccine by 2020. Reportedly, Novavax is in the process of transferring vaccine technology to a manufacturing contractor that owns 2 large production facilities, the CEO of this company said. In addition, Emergent Biosolutions is producing their first vaccines for initial and second phase testing. 2. U.S. News. The United States remains the most heavily affected by the COVID-19 epidemic, with 3,093,772 cases and 133,858 deaths. In the past 24 hours, the number of new cases in the U.S. has been recorded at 52,130. This is the 14th consecutive day the U.S. recorded new cases of the day at over 40,000. The number of new cases has increased sharply in 39 U.S. states in recent days, of which 16 states recorded the highest days since the outbreak, resulting in hospital overcrowding. Despite the deteriorating situation of the COVID-19 epidemic, White House officials said that the U.S. economy, which is struggling due to the effects of a nationwide blockade imposed in March and April, will not close again. The United States kicked off the process of withdrawing from WHO. The State Department spokesman said on July 7 that after threats to postpone an annual $400 million grant to WHO and announced it would withdraw from the organization, the Trump administration on July 6 sent an official notice to UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres. According to observers, based on the conditions set forth when the United States joined WHO in 1948, the country has a year to complete the withdrawal process as well as to fulfill other financial obligations. This means that on July 6, 2016, the U.S. will officially no longer be a member of WHO, according to AFP news agency. There have been mixed reactions from the move. The Democratic presidential candidate of the United States, Joe Biden, vowed to ensure the United States remains a member of the medical organization if he wins, and become the new owner of the White House. Meanwhile, public health advocates have expressed resentment about the decision to withdraw from WHO at this time. Other news is the United States is considering banning Chinese social networking apps, including TikTok. CNN quoted U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo as saying July 6. Pompeo's statement was made amid tensions between the United States and China that have been growing due to the COVID-19 issue, Hong Kong security laws, and a trade war lasting nearly 2 years. 3. Brazil news. Brazil recorded the second highest number of infections and deaths in the world, with 48,584 new infections recorded in the past 24 hours, bringing the total number of COVID-19 cases to 1,674,655, including 66,868 deaths. On July 7, President Jair Bolsonaro confirmed positive for COVID-19 after he had symptoms of illness such as high fever and conducted a fourth test. 4. India has opened 4 field hospitals in Mumbai because the number of deaths in this region accounts for a quarter of the 20,100 deaths nationwide, and city hospitals are overcrowded. India reviews about 50 Chinese investment projects. Amid tense Sino-Indian border situations, the Indian government is reviewing about 50 investment projects involving Chinese companies under a new appraisal policy. Under the new rules announced by India in April this year, all investments of entities in neighboring countries, whether new or additional, require the approval of the Indian government. The new investment rules are intended to curb opportunistic acquisitions during the COVID-19 pandemic. However, senior industry executives say since the conflict between the two countries on the disputed border last month led to the deaths of 20 Indian soldiers, the relationship between the two countries has worsened. The move may have further delayed the approval of investment projects. Knowing that China is the largest customer among these investors, the new regulation has come under criticism from Chinese investors and the Beijing authorities, who consider the policy discriminatory behavior. Last week, India banned 59 mobile apps, most of which were Chinese, including TikTok and WeChat. This is India's toughest act against China since the border crisis erupted last month. This move may affect the expansion plan of major Chinese companies in India. 5. Europe news. In Europe, AFP statistics show that more than 200,000 people have died from COVID-19 in the region. The UK and Italy are the two most affected countries in the region, with 44,236 and 34,869 cases, respectively, while the total number of infections in the continent has reached 2,751,606. 6. China's National Health Commission, NHC, announced it had 8 more new cases of COVID-19 on July 7. To date, China has a total of 83,565 cases, including 4,634 deaths and 78,528 patients cured. India, the third largest epidemic region in the world, continues to record new cases of COVID-19 infection above 20,000, reaching 23,135 cases in the past 24 hours, bringing the total number of infected people to 743,481, with 20,653 deaths, in the context that the country promotes loosening prevention measures to resume economic activities. China is in torrential floods. On the evening of July 7, China's Central Meteorological Station issued a warning of heavy orange rain on a 4-color scale, from low to high: blue, yellow, orange, and red. Days ago, the center had issued blue warnings for a long time, then turned yellow in recent days when heavy rain hit China since early June. This is the first orange heavy rain warning that China's Central Meteorological Station issued this year. The center advises local authorities to cut off power sources and stop outdoor activities in dangerous places. According to the warning, from July 20 to July 20 at 20 o'clock, the east of Hubei province, east of Anhui, north of Hunan, north of Jiangxi, west of Zhejiang, will receive rain. Big. In particular, the southeastern part of Hubei, northern Jiangxi, and southern Anhui will receive particularly heavy rain, with rainfall from 250 to 80 millimeters. In Anhui province, floodwaters attacked houses, roads, and engulfed vehicles. A district in the province today had to postpone 2 language arts and math exams in the university entrance exam after suffering the most severe flooding since 1969. An ancient bridge dating to the Ming Dynasty, 1368-1644, collapsed in the face of the floodwaters in China's Anhui province in the regret of many. Shanhai Bridge was built during the Ming Dynasty, 1368-1644. This bridge, also known as Liaodai Bridge, is located at the junction of 3 rivers, Tanan, Suitai and Hongjiang. According to eyewitness accounts, at about 10 a.m. July 7, floodwaters on the river flow very strongly. The body of the bridge was broken and then almost the entire bridge collapsed to make way for floodwaters. For the first time in 50 years, the Steam District in China's Anhui province has suffered from severe floods that prevented candidates from taking university exams, forcing authorities to postpone 2 subjects on the first exam day. On July 6, Wuhan City in Hubei province increased the emergency response to prevent flooding from level 3 to level 2 on a 4-level ladder with the highest level 1, according to Xinhua news agency. Wuhan was the site of the outbreak of COVID-19 and was already heavily damaged by the pandemic. Heavy rains have caused serious flooding in Wuhan in the past 2 days, with rainfall exceeding 250 millimeters from early 5.7 to early 6.7. At Oolong Station area in Jianghe District, rainfall reaches 393.6 millimeters 7. Iran News. In Iran, health officials reported an additional 200 deaths from COVID-19 in the past 24 hours. This is the highest number of deaths since the outbreak in the Middle East in February, bringing the total number of COVID-19 deaths in the country to 11,931. Meanwhile, the number of new infections in Iran has increased sharply, with 3,392 cases recorded in the past 24 hours, bringing the total number of infected people to 217,108. 8. Indonesia News. In Indonesia, the number of new COVID-19 infections per day remains high above 1,000. In the past 24 hours, Indonesia recorded 1,268 new cases, bringing the total number of people infected to 66,226, including 3,309 deaths. 9. Philippines News. In the Philippines, the government has lifted restrictions on traveling abroad with people. Under the new rules, people traveling abroad on a tourist visa need to submit round-trip tickets with appropriate travel health insurance to cover the cost of rebooking and staying in case they get stuck in foreign. According to statistics, in the past 24 hours, the country recorded an additional 1,540 cases of COVID-19, bringing the total number of people infected to 47,873, including 1,309 deaths. 10. Scientists say there is no community immunity to COVID-19. Concerning the situation of the COVID-19 epidemic, a new Spanish study published in the medical journal The Lancet shows that there is no community immunity to COVID-19. The measures to keep animal distance management, hygiene and wearing a mask are still the best ways to control the disease. Spanish scientists conducted a study of 61,000 people to identify those with antibodies against COVID-19 disease. As a result, only 5% of these have acquired anti-COVID-19. Epidemiologist of the Free University of Belgium, ULB, Marius Gilbert affirmed even in the most affected areas of the COVID-19 pandemic, the proportion of people with antibodies to the SARS-CoV virus -2 is very low. Therefore, we cannot obtain community immunity against COVID-19. Our newsletter is now over. Thank you for always watching and supporting our videos. Knowledge of coronavirus, channel and travel for all fanpage respectfully, and see you in the next video. And most important means of every citizen in preventing and reducing the spread of the COVID-19 pandemic. 7. Korea News. In Korea, the Central Committee for Disease Control and Prevention under the Korea Disease Prevention and Control (CDC) said that starting July 6, the unit will coordinate with the Ministry of Oceanography and Fisheries and the Ministry of Health. The Justice carries out the COVID-19 test on all crew members disembarking the ship and at the same time isolates foreign crew members at the designated establishment from July 13. 8. Africa News. In Africa, according to the Egyptian Ministry of Health, an additional 969 new cases of COVID-19 were recorded, bringing the total number of infected people to 76,222. This is the lowest daily increase in new infections since June 19. The number of deaths in Egypt increased to 3,422. In South Africa, the number of new COVID-19 infections per day is still rising, with 8,971 cases recorded in the past 24 hours, bringing the total number of infected people to 205,721, the highest on the continent. 9. Iran News. Iran negotiates a 25-year strategic agreement with China. On July 5, Iranian Foreign Minister Mohammad Javad Zarif announced that Tehran was negotiating a 25-year deal with China in which the terms would be announced as soon as the agreement was reached. The deal with China has been a hot topic on Iranian social networking since former President Mohammad Ahmadinejad criticized ongoing talks with a foreign country last month. But Foreign Minister Zarif, who was hit by a 2015 nuclear deal that Iranian conservatives always oppose, said there was no secret about the deal with China. Zarif said the whole country would be informed when an agreement was signed. According to him, the deal was made public in January 2016 when Chinese President Xi Jinping visited Tehran. It is known that China is also a key market for Iran to export crude oil, but this activity was hampered by sanctions imposed by the U.S. after Washington withdrew from its nuclear deal with Tehran in 2018. 10. Pakistan News. In Pakistan, Pakistan Health Minister Zafar Mirza announced that he had tested positive for SARS-CoV-2 virus. This is the latest high-ranking Pakistani official with COVID-19. Up to now, Pakistan has recorded 231,818 people infected, including 4,762 patients died. On July 6, Pakistan Health Minister Zafar Mirza revealed that he had tested positive for the SARS-CoV-2 virus that caused COVID-19 acute respiratory infection. This is the latest senior official of Pakistan infected with this dangerous virus. Our newsletter is now over. Thank you for always watching and supporting our videos. Knowledge of Coronavirus, Channel and Travel for All fanpage respectfully, and see you in the next video.
Bye.